Today I'm going to share with you the number one mistake that 95% of authors make and how you can avoid it. Hey, welcome back to Indie Author Pro Show. I am your host, Ryan C. Greene, founder of Indie Author Pro. And today I want to share with you the number one mistake that 95% of authors make. I want to share a statistic with you, okay? On average, there's millions of books that are released every single year. And on average, the new book only averages 250 sales in its first year. So take all the millions of books that are released every single year, and each book on average is only going to sell 250 copies in its first year. Now, that's not a lot of books, right? It's not a lot of books. How do you then take that book that's only going to sell 250 copies and make that into a full-fledged business? And that's what we want to talk about today. We want to talk about how to overcome that. Another statistic is that 93% of authors never make six-figure income. Over 93% of authors don't make $100,000 a year from their book. And obviously, if the average book is only selling 250 copies, then that makes sense, right? So how do we overcome that? How do we become successful? How do we then take our book and build a real business? One of the biggest questions I always get asked as a publisher and an author coach is, Ryan, how do I sell more books? How do I sell more books? How do I sell more books? And the bottom line is this: it's not so much the book that you want to sell. You want to stop worrying about selling your book. I'm gonna stop right there. But yep, that's the same response I get every time I tell someone that thing. Stop trying to sell your book. And what do I mean by that? Okay, if I just told you your book's only going to sell 250 copies, then you've got to find another way, right? And what happens is that most authors, that 93% of those authors, never move past just trying to sell their book. So they have a book, and that's all they're trying to do is sell their book, sell their book, sell their book. But it's not the book that you really want to sell. It's what's in the book that you're trying to sell. So if you have a book is full of content, that's what you really want to sell. It's not so much the book itself that you're trying to sell. You're trying to make a business out of the content that you provide in that book. So if you think about that book, and the way we've been conditioned by the marketplace is that, on average, we're used to paying $20 for a book, right? We'll buy a book for $20, maybe $25 if it's a hardcover. But you're gonna be hard pressed to sell a book for $50 or sell a book for $100. But when when you're selling a book, we understand that $20 is the price. So we can come out with a book, and $20 is probably like the max you'll be able to sell. But here's the thing: there are other ways to sell that content, right? And that's what we wanted to share with you today. So it's not about the book itself that we're trying to sell, but take that content out of the book and sell it. First way we do that is we provide online courses. Now, if you think about your book is already pretty much a syllabus. Your book is already designed where it's taking people through a journey, it's teaching something systematically, and it's already set by, here's step A, B, C, here's the units. It's already a course, but it's not online, it's in the form of a book. So one way to generate more income is by now transferring that content from written format into a online course. And see, now you take that $20 book, and now you can sell it for $200 in a course, $2,000 in a course. I mean, some people will spend $20,000 on courses. How much did you spend for your college education, right? That was a course. So when you now take the information out, our mind is just different. Well, we're not going to spend $2,000 on a book. You have to teach me something, right? You have to talk to me. You're going to have to sit in front of me and teach me something for $2,000. But people will do it. So that's one of the best ways to really now to generate more income. So let's say, I told you earlier, the average book sells 250 copies, right? So let's say you were twice as good as average and you sold 500 copies of your book. Even at 500 copies of your book at $20 a book, you're not breaking the bank there, right? You're still going to be struggling to really make an impact and really make a difference in your life. But let's say you only took 10% of that. You have a $2,000 course, and you took 10% of that 250, and you had 25 people enroll in your $2,000 course in a year. That's a game changer, right? That's some serious income and something you can really benefit from and really grow through. Number two, the second way that you can also go out here and market your content is through virtual book clubs. I love virtual book clubs because what a virtual book club does is, one, it brings people in. It's kind of a membership format. It brings people in, and it has recurring income. So if you had a book that instead of selling your $20 book, you told people, hey, join this virtual book club for the next 12 months. We're going to go through the entire book, and I'm going to break down the chapters. We're going to teach you. I'm going to actually take you through the lessons that I teach over the next 12 months for $10, $20 a month. Now that $20 book just became a $120 book, right? If you're selling for $10 a month, or $240 book for a $20 a month club. So those virtual book clubs are a way that now you can really have more interaction. You can really get deeper results with the people whom you're trying to reach, and really make a better impact and set yourself apart from every other author out there. Another great way to generate income is through hosting conferences and events. Your book could also just be a marketing piece, or the first step to a whole entire conference, movement, whatever it is you want to call it. But now by hosting a live event, you now are able to generate more income there. So whether it's a live conference, whether it's an event, whether it's a virtual summit, whatever it may be, whether it's a mastermind, a weekend, something like that, those are the kind of things that now you can also push people towards, so that you're not just selling a book, you're now selling experiences. Another great option is to provide programs. Okay, so your programs will be something where you're actually coaching, or you're actually walking clients through a system. All right, so you're providing some kind of result, some kind of solution, some kind of system that you're teaching them, that you taught in the book, or you introduced to them in the book. And now when they hire you, they're paying you thousands of dollars to be their coach, their whatever, their leader, to show them how to do what it is you say you know how to do. So that's another way by offering programs. If you don't have a program or an online course, as I said earlier, with your book, you're missing so much right now, because what happens after someone buys your book? I know as an author and a publisher, when people, the biggest issue I would always have is when people bought my book. After they bought my book, I had no way to contact them, no way to interact with them, no other way to really pour into them. But if you can start to build these communities and start bringing them to you, and start to be able to gather this information and have an ongoing relationship with people who are purchasing your content, that's how you build business. That's how you attract more clients. That's how you begin to scale a real business. And then the final solutions I'll share with you are going to be offering things like intensives or consulting. So if you're a professional, say you're a therapist, or say you're a psychologist, or even a doctor, you want to do consulting work and things like that, or architect, whatever it is that you're a subject matter expert in, writing a book. Now through your book, you're teaching what you know, but now you're offering your services as a consultant. You can go out there and get consulting gigs, to bring in more income as well. So the bottom line is, what I hope that you gather from this episode today is that, listen, it doesn't stop at your book. The book is the first step, but you should make sure that you have some kind of system and know what it is that you want. I've said in the previous episodes about knowing the purpose and what it is you want to gain from your book. And then when you know those things, and when you focus on that, that'll help you gauge how you maneuver. Also will help you gauge what other options you use to sell and monetize your content. Because listen, writing a book is great, but selling a book is much better. Generating revenue from your information and what you know is much better. And we're talking about attracting more clients. We're talking about maximizing revenue. We're talking about boosting our business. We need to know how to do that outside of the book, how to really make an impact on people. So listen, if you need help building a course, if you need help developing your program, we offer a course builder package where you can contact us and let's discuss what we can help you with building your own online course. So go to indieauthorpro.com. You can schedule your discovery session call. We'll discuss the options on how to help you build your course, so that you can really go out there and move past the $20 book and move into the high ticket course offer for your business as well. So definitely take time, subscribe to the page. I thank you for joining us today. Make sure you share this out again, and I'll talk to you in the next episode.